Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys. Today we're going to be reacting to the video by Sheikh Assim Hakim. He's going to be defending the apostasy law. And if you watch my channel, like 4 days ago, I made a video where I was talking about the apostasy law, and I was showing you why I disagree with this law and it shouldn't be applied. And we need to speak out against this. A lot of da'is, a lot of apologists, Muslim apologists, go to debate with their chest out defending this law as if it's something just and everyone should be able to see it. I don't know why people cannot see why this is problematic if you remove it from a particular context. But they seem to be saying it like this is somehow just and everyone should see how beautiful it is. But to me, it is not. It's almost even sounds tyrannical, to be blunt. But anyway, I made a video. You can watch it. It's called Apostasy Law. 4 days ago, you can check it out. But today, let's hear one of the defenses of this law, like by Sheikh Assim Hakim. I posted it in my community post so that you guys will like see, and I made some argument against it there. But I just want you to see, it's not in the context of war. If you put it in the context of war, it's understandable because that would be like treason. Anyone that does treason is understandable. Even if you are like a Christian living under the Muslim society, you can commit treason. Let's say you're not supporting another country just because they are your religion, we can execute you. Like that's in the context of war. But when you say it doesn't matter if it is the context of war or not, they don't even refer to it. That is what this video is about. So it's going to be asked, what is his position on the apostasy law? And let's hear his answers to it. Bismillah.
That's a very logical question. Now, is killing others justifiable? This depends on where you're coming from. If you're a Muslim, you would say yes.
So basically, he was asked that the Quran says, La ikrah fi din, there's no compulsion in religion. So why are you killing people if they leave Islam? For changing the religion. Like, it's not for rebellion. Like, people always misunderstand this. Let me tell you, this is not for rebellion. This is not for like treason. That's what I'm trying to show you. It's not about treason. It's not about rebelling. You're not even calling it. It's not about calling people. Let's say one guy now, he becomes an apostate and he starts telling people, hey, come and become. No. That's not the law. The law is not about that. The law is about the very change itself. The way these people, they're explaining it is that the very change of religion. Once we know that you change your religion, that's it. It's not about you being rebellious or bad person. You just need to change from Islam. That's all. Do you understand? Okay, that's the question was asked. La ikrah fi din, how is that compatible with killing apostates?
This is a prescribed punishment. If you're a Christian or a Jew, you know that this is an eye for an eye, a life for a life, etc. So, yeah, this is part of the divine religions. Now we come to no compulsion in religion. No compulsion in religion means that there is no hardship in religion. Allah did not order us to do something that is beyond our ability. Allah did not order us to fly or to walk on the water. All the...
What? Actually, I think he's the only one that explains this verse like this, that I've heard of anyway. Most people would just say that no compulsion in religion. There are two. This is the second way anyway. The first way is usually that no compulsion in religion is before you accept it. This is the one that Sheikh Salih Al-Fawzan and the other people, this is what they say. But the way him is explaining it is saying La ikrah fi din means that there's no hardship in the religion. I don't think that's what he means. I don't think that's what he's saying. But even if that, there are many other verses, by the way. It's not just La ikrah fi din. There are many verses like وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Like, the whole point is this, guys. The whole point is this. We are not saying people should disbelieve or become kafir or do bad stuff. What we are saying is that all of that, the punishment for things like that of belief, the things of belief, the punishment for it is in the hereafter, not here. We are not supposed to be the judge of that and kill people. Imagine you kill someone that, okay, let's say he's 16 years old and he said, I'm an atheist, and you kill him. What if when he's 30 years old, he changes his mind? Like, don't you think about that? Why would you kill him when he can actually become Muslim again? Do you see why it's problematic to just execute people in this life? Of course, in the hereafter, whoever it doesn't meet the criteria, God is going to hold them accountable, right? But if you say that we should start executing people here, This is the way of to me, this law in the hands of terrorists, that's what they do. They just class someone as a murtad, they tell him to come back and he doesn't, and then they kill people. Just like that. But anyway, let's continue.
Religion is easy for all human beings worldwide to practice and implement. This is what is meant by La ikraha fi din. There is no compulsion in religion. There is no hardship in religion.
Do you guys agree with that explanation of no La ikraha fi din? Do you think that's what it means? Do you think it means that there's no hardship in religion, or there's really no compulsion in religion? Like, what do you guys think about that? Let's continue.
As for a penalty, when a person rapes your sister, tortures her, and kills her.
Please, guys, please be just. Be just and be fair. Listen, like, even him is appealing to our moral justice, like our sense of, what's it called? Fairness. Like, imagine someone rapes your sister. Imagine someone kills your mother. Imagine if someone does this. Like, even you'll be like, okay, we should do something to that guy, right? But how does this have to do with someone changing belief? Someone changing his own belief. He doesn't believe anymore. Like, can you force someone to believe? Anulzimu kumuha, like Prophet Hud alayhi salam said, if I'm preaching something to you and you cannot see it, anulzimu kumuha, am I going to force you to believe? Like, if someone doesn't believe anymore, there's nothing you can actually do about it, unless he just remains a munafiq, which they also use. They'll say, okay, you should remain a munafiq, something like that. To me, that's what they are insinuating by telling us about munafiq and hypocrites. Because hypocrites, they don't believe anymore, but they will say they believe. Those are hypocrites. So they will not kill the hypocrites. They will say hypocrites are fine, because the Prophet ﷺ didn't kill hypocrites, because he wasn't judging people like that. But if you are not an hypocrite and you come and tell us that you don't believe anymore, like you're not preaching, you're not even preaching. We just know that you don't believe anymore. The punishment has to be applied to you. That's what they're saying. That's a real issue they should be addressing, by the way. Anyway, let's continue.
If there is no compulsion in religion, would you advocate for the death penalty or not?
There's no compulsion in religion, and death penalty is different. When we execute someone, it's because he has killed someone else, and justice says that we should kill him back. That's justice. It doesn't have to do with this one we are talking about here.
You say yes. Those who go around and sell our children drugs and make them addicted to meth, to crack, to marijuana, these are people who spoil and corrupt the earth. Would you advocate in killing them because putting them in jail or fining them would only encourage them to engage more? The answer is yes. In religion, as a Muslim, Allah is the one who tells us to do or not to do.
By the way, guys, look at the example he gave. People selling drugs. Okay? How does that have to do with someone that is an apostate? By the way, to be an apostate, you guys think is only becoming an atheist. No, you don't have to become an atheist. If you become a Christian from Islam, you're an apostate too. If you become a Jew, if you become a Buddhist, that you're a pacifist, you don't have to harm anybody. You don't have to harm anybody. You just have to change the religion. So to me, all these examples and explanations that they give is not even about the real issue of why you're killing the person. Like, if you give me a condition that we are killing this person because of ABC, what if ABC is not there? It doesn't apply anymore. This is where context comes in. Like, if you say it's treason, what if this is not treason? Should you still kill the person? This is what we are talking about. You're saying it doesn't matter. Then why are you giving us reasons for even making just say it's arbitrary? Just say it's arbitrary, and there's no reason why it makes sense or why we should judge it. It's just the way it is. We just kill anybody that doesn't believe anymore. There's no reason behind it. Exactly. But the moment you give reason for the law itself, we can use that reason to contextualize it. Okay? Anyway, let's continue.
So for you guys in the West, freedom of speech is honored. In Islam, it is honored as well, but with boundaries. When you come and say that it's part of my freedom of speech to slander your mother, to...
You know, there's this thing in philosophy, like poisoning the well fallacy, where before you get to the real issue, you have already poisoned the well. I already told you, an apostate does not need to insult his mother or sell drugs or do all these things that he's talking about. It has nothing to do with that. Like, haven't you met Christians that are good, honest people that will not that they don't want LGBTQ. They are Christians. They don't want to do anything bad. They are just normal people. Like, haven't you met them? Exactly. If you have met this kind of people, why would someone now leaving Islam and becoming a Christian suddenly warrant all these descriptions of killing people, raping people? What? This is poisoning the well. It's not talking about the real issue.
Say trash about your sister and daughter. We say, hey, wait, you will be flogged 80 lashes because this is not acceptable and not permissible in Islam.
Yes, okay.
So, in Islam, it is not up to you to embrace Islam and then apostatize.
What? Look, now this is the issue. This is exactly all what you said before and what he just said now. They are not compatible. Okay? It is not up to you to accept Islam. You are the one that accepted it yourself. And then you left it yourself. You didn't harm anybody while accepting it and rejecting it. You chose because you have that freedom. And on the day of judgment, you will either be rewarded or punished. Like, another way I look at this thing is that, imagine if this law was generalized. Like, every religion should start doing this now. So all the Christians that become Muslim, or they become atheists, or become Jew, they should be killed. Like, that's what if everyone applied this law, because they also, some of these scholars that defend this position, they also appeal that it's in the Old Testament. It's there in the Old Testament. The Jews know this. So why are you happy when a Jew becomes a Muslim? Why don't you say the Jews, they should apply their law and kill him? Oh, only us can apply the law. Why don't Christians, they should do it too? Like, I see all these dawah guys, all these apologetic guys, they go online with their chest out defending this law that even, and they always give examples. See, for instance, Daniel Akiko Jew and some of these guys, they go and they start talking about, is in the New Testament, the Christian history, they used to kill heretics. That's not, you are missing the point. The point is that if the Christians should now say, okay, fine, okay, this guy reminded us of what we should have been doing, killing heretics. Okay, a Christian lady now becomes a Muslim. They should now kill him. But you're happy that people are joining Islam. But if they leave, you want to kill them. Everyone should apply that law and let's see what's going to happen, if dawah is going to be possible. Do you see why this is problematic? He's saying, listen to what he just said again. Listen to what he said.
So, in Islam, it is not up to you to embrace Islam and then apostatize.
It's not up to me to embrace it. It's up to me to embrace it. And it's up to me to deny it. Because I'm going to be responsible, not anyone else. Up to me. If it's not up to me to embrace it, who embraced it then? And funny enough, I even have another explanation for, it's really true that it's not up to you to embrace it. And it's not up to you to reject it too, because God is the one that guides. So if God guides me, I will embrace it. If God decides to retrieve it, I will lose my guidance. It's as simple as, we can even explain it that way. But I said God, not someone else. God. And He's only the one that can punish me for it. No one else. So it's not up to me to embrace something, and then it's not up to me to reject. What are you talking about? That's exactly the issue. This is problematic. If you guys cannot see this, you are being biased.
Because we have rules and regulations. You don't want to accept Islam from the beginning? Don't. Remain in your religion. But
look at what he just said. Remain in your religion. This is like hindering people from actually accepting Islam. Like, the main reason why he doesn't want to accept Islam would be that if I accept it, I cannot live for any reason. Even if something happens, I can never live. So he would rather remain a kafir. Not because he's not convinced somewhat. Like, who really is convinced? Like, there's different level of yaqeen, by the way. It's not all Muslims. And by the way, most of the Muslims were born in Islam anyway. So they don't even have this option. Like, normally, let's say, okay, remain in your religion that you were. That option is not open to someone that was born a Muslim. Because if you are born a Muslim, you're already in that religion that is saying that you cannot live. So this argument does not actually work for people that are already Muslims. And 95% of people that are going to be apostate or whatever, they are going to be born into Muslim families. So if you say that, remain in the religion you were, you are not forced to accept it. These guys are already born in it. They are already forced to accept it somewhat. Do you get? Because you were discussing about child apostate. By the way, I don't even want to go too deep. Go and watch that other video I made. But the thing is that, see, all these arguments just have loopholes everywhere. It's indefensible. You cannot defend this kind of thing, guys. You cannot.
to come and accept Islam and then leave Islam, this is a crime that is the cardinal sin. This is something that has to be punishable in Islam to protect Islam and the Muslims. And
to protect Islam and the Muslims, not the perpetrator. I made one argument that, see, most of the laws of Sharia, even like cutting the hand of the thief or punishing the adulteress and all those other laws, the perpetrator himself is a correction for him, is a deterrence for the society, but is also an expiation for him. So when someone is the sin that he committed, when they cut off his hand, that's an expiation for him. In the case of the apostasy, there is no expiation. You have been condemned to hell. Like, you can condemn someone that just reached the age of puberty. That's what you guys were discussing. You can condemn him to hell. Like, you are not even thinking that it's possible he can come back. Like, why would you close that possibility? So you say 3 days. What's 3 days? Some people, they can take like 30 years before they come back again. Like, this is indefensible, guys. The more attempts you try, just let it go. Let it go. Put it back in the context that it belongs. Put it back in the context of war. Put it back in some kind of context that is not general. If you make it general, then it's almost is indefensible. What am I even saying? You cannot defend it. All these attempts, it just sounds, if someone is unbiased and is just looking, an outsider looking at this, like, what is the beauty in that? That, you see, our own religion, we don't let people live. Okay. So what? What's that? Exactly.
throughout time, they are a negligible percentage, less than a percentage even, those who reject Islam with the grace of Allah. Look at the Muslims.
You know, I'm just done. Let's just end this video, because it's going to talk about something that is also irrelevant. That, okay, Muslims don't leave. An outsider can just say, like, of course, because you're going to kill them. An outsider will just say that, like, you're going to kill them. And then in this video, he gave an example of Indonesia. That, because, you see, the people that are saying that people should be free to live, they are not saying that they want to live. No one wants to leave Islam necessarily. Why would I want to live? Like, I'm still a Muslim. But to say that whoever lives it should be killed, that's what we are arguing against. We're arguing against this law. It's not about people choosing Islam. Like, let me give you one good example before this ends. There was a lady that wanted to become a Muslim, and she came to me and we were talking about this. And she asked so many questions. She has like a list of questions. So many. So I wanted to focus on, you see, I told her, like, see, we don't know when we are going to die. So you should become a Muslim as long as you agree with the core foundations. That's what I told her. I didn't tell her about some kind of apostasy law or some kind of thing that if you ever leave. No, I told her that accept it if you are convinced of the foundations. The other ones, even other Muslims are struggling with it as well. So this is what I told her. And I told her she should accept it. That if she's not convinced, she can leave. Like, it's up to her. It's free. She's free. And you know what? It's not up to a week she accepted Islam. Imagine if I had told her, like, see, remain in your religion where you are, because if you join this place, you cannot leave. Like, what is that? Why would I accept that? Like, if I had told her, do you think she will accept Islam? She's not even convinced. She just see, like, I'm convinced of somewhat. Like, people make it look as if all Muslims even have this kind of 100% yaqeen and stuff like that. What? People are just saying, like, see, you know what? Some people, they believe, like, Islam is better than the other ones, so I will stay here. Something like that. Allah is the one that gives people these things. To now come and start killing people because they don't believe anymore. See, the strongest argument I just made in this video is the one about 95% of Muslims are born into Islam, and therefore they don't have that option. So the first time they even exercise their option, that's when you guys go and kill them. Like, the first time they ever thought, like, you know what, let me now choose, that's when you kill them. But like Rafidin cannot apply to them then, because they were already in the religion already. Do you see? Anyway, this is just one video. I'll make other videos. People like all these apologists, Daniel Okiko Jew, all of them defending this law or not addressing the real issue. You see, there's one way. Even like someone sent me Brother Hijab's video about this issue. It just goes around like talking about other things, but it didn't address the issue. If you want to address the issue, you have to say, the only people I've seen that have addressed this issue, people like Dr. Yassi Kodi and Dr. Shabi Ali, for instance, they've addressed this issue. And to be fair, Mufti Abu Lait also. They will tell you exactly where the issue is. the fact that this is compelling people. People are remaining Muslims because they don't want to die, not because they are convinced of it. You see, or they will become hypocrites. Like after 3 days, you don't want to die, just say you're Muslim. Just say it. Like, doesn't that sound ridiculous? So after 3 days, you ask me, do you believe? I'll say, yeah, I believe. And you know, you cannot check my heart, so you just assume that I believe. That kind of thing. So this kind of thing needs to go. You cannot continue to defend this publicly, and you think people will be stupid enough, they will not see the loopholes in it. Many intelligent people will see through this, and they will see like you guys are just defending something arbitrarily. It's not because there's any reason behind this. Look at one of the reasons they gave was that to protect the Muslim community, right? I say, okay, fine. That only applies to people that, let's say, people going around preaching that, okay, let's say this guy left Islam, then he's telling other people to leave Islam as well. You know what? For the sake of argument, let's say that guy is to be blamed because he's trying to cause some things in the community. But let's even say that guy can be blamed. But what about the real issue of the apostasy law? Is not about you preaching to the people. It's about man baddala dinahu faqtuluh. Do you understand? Like, even if you are the most docile person, as long as you change your religion, if you like, don't call anybody. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying, don't let us talk about rebellious people or people that are, no. So in this case, this guy is not calling anybody. He's not any danger to the Muslim community that you are saying you want to protect. He just left. Why don't you send him away? Why don't you banish him? This is another thing about that law. Or why don't you banish the guy? Like, send him out of your country. No. The law, he says you have to kill them. Like, if it was banishing, people will be fine with that. Even everybody does that somewhat. Like, if your child becomes a Christian, many people send them out. If Christians too, if they become Muslims, their parents usually send them out or something like that. So that one is understandable. But killing is a different ball game. Because once you kill someone, especially if you're a religious person, now it's over for the person. Is either going to hell, like, based on what he has done so far. But if you leave him, maybe he will come back to his senses. Maybe he can become religious all over again. Maybe God can guide him. But you put an end to it. Anyway, let me see what you guys think in the comment section. See you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.